Welcome back to my cooking channel, guys, and today we are cooking my version of the Filipino beef caldereta. For the ingredients to our beef caldereta, we have 6 cloves of garlic minced. We also have 2 medium-sized red onions minced. I have 2 pieces of medium-sized carrots. I peeled this and cut it into cubes. I also have a combination of red and green bell peppers sliced into squares. And then we have potatoes. This is about 2 large-sized potatoes cut into cubes. And then I soaked them into a bowl of water to avoid browning or oxidizing. Now for the start of our dish, we are going to use about 3 kilos of beef. This is about 2 kilos of beef caldereta cut, which you would see that there's yellow fat combined, and then about 1 kilo of the lean part. So I'm using a combination because we really want that yellow fat to render and flavor our beef caldereta. Now we are going to pressure cook our beef to make it tender, and we're going to use 6 cloves of garlic crushed and about 2 medium-sized onions cut into quarters. Other ingredients, we have red chili peppers to make our beef caldereta spicy, a tablespoon of rock salt, and then we're gonna make our life easy by using Mamacita's caldereta mix. We are going to use canola oil to saute our aromatics, your garlic and onions, and then we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of Lily's peanut butter. This is the secret to a yummy caldereta. And then we're going to use a whole can of ram liver spread, black pepper to season, and fish sauce to flavor our beef caldereta. Other recipes would call for tomato sauce, but I prefer tomato paste because, for one, it makes your sauce much richer and thicker. So we're gonna use about 2 tablespoons for our beef caldereta. And lastly, we are going to use frozen green peas for our beef caldereta. The reason why this is an easy caldereta because we're gonna cut down our cooking time by pressure cooking our beef. So I'm adding the crushed garlic and the quartered red onions plus 1 tablespoon of salt and your black pepper. Pressure cook your beef for about 45 minutes under medium heat. And it should turn out to be fork tender like this. So the meat is not breaking down. It's still firm, but very soft when you push in your fork. Now that our beef is tender, we are going to start prepping our carrots and potatoes. So I'm putting oil into my big wok. And yes, we are going to fry our potatoes and carrots. So this is just half cooked, guys. You don't need to cook it all the way through. The reason why I'm doing a half cooked for the potatoes and carrots is to avoid it being soggy when you add it into a saucy dish like beef caldereta. Now in the same wok that we have, we're gonna lessen down the oil that we used for frying, and then we're gonna start sauteing our garlic and our onions. So once you start smelling the garlic and onions, it means it's ready. Now we're gonna add our tender beef onto the pan, but we're not gonna add the broth yet, just the meat to start sauteing it with the aromatics. Now while the beef is sauteing, we can now add our Mamacita's Caldereta mix to our beef broth. Just make sure that you mix this well to avoid lumps. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste into our beef. Let's make sure that this gets mixed really well. And when you do cook with tomato paste, you have to make sure that it is cooked and sauteed really well so that, you know, we can tame down the sourness. After that, we're going to add liver spread, 1 can, and then the 2 tablespoons of Lily's peanut butter. So at this point, I added the beef broth with the caldereta mix. So I'm mixing this very well because I want the liver spread, the peanut butter, and the beef broth to blend in, to let all the flavors mix well together. Now we're gonna wait for the sauce to thicken. Now this is the time that you do adjust the seasoning with fish sauce. I'm putting 2 ladles. After 10 or 15 minutes, your sauce would start to thicken. So make sure that you mix this, give it a stir once in a while to avoid scalding your pan at the bottom. And then you can now add your carrots and potatoes along with the red chilies. I put the red chilies in whole because not everyone wants it spicy. If you know you want it spicy, you can get a piece and then have it served just for you. So at this point, the sauce has thickened a little bit more. And for me, this is the right consistency. I can see the oil coming out on the edges of my wok. So last 2 steps of the cooking procedure, I'm gonna add the red and green bell peppers and then my frozen peas. Now I'm gonna cook this for about 2 minutes or so. I still want that crunch onto the bell peppers and I don't want my peas mushy. So there. Give it one last boil and we're good. We're good with the dish. The other version that I have, if I'm not using peanut butter, is I put in cube cheese and I let that melt into the sauce just before serving. Now the Ilocano version that I'm used to having is actually made of goat meat. But since goat meat is very rare to find here in the metro, that is why we did the beef version of this Ilocano with peanut butter style of cooking caldereta. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, share this to your family and friends. Please subscribe to my channel, and to get notifications, you can tap that bell on the side. If you've tried the recipe, please do comment down below. Thank you for watching.